we're basically halfway through 2020. And what better way to make another video than another Blu-ray collection update? And of course, it's from the Criterion Collection, Volume 3 here. I know some people are going to be asking me why you've been buying Criterions instead of like regular Blu-rays, or any of the like Blu-ray sets or Steelbooks or 4Ks, or anything like that. Well, I will tell you one thing. Number one, obviously, we don't have a 4K player. But the second reason is, since we're still in a virus pandemic, I don't feel it's comfortable out to go to stores to buy Blu-rays or any other Blu-rays, either like at Best Buy or Walmart or maybe Books A Million, aka BAM, to get them. And of course, since obviously there's no Barnes & Nobles here in Lycoming County, Pennsylvania, the only way to get through these Criterion Blu-rays I can is through online. And unlike the previous two videos, I have 6, yes that's right, 6 Criterion Blu-rays for this episode on the unboxing. Got them in the package today, all in this box. I am pretty excited, to say the least. I think I only had one peek, but I know how the order I think it's potentially going to be. So, with that being said, let's get this started. So the first Blu-ray I can see that is right in front of me, other than that, we are already kind of in the beginning of a little bit of a phase, because this is a little bit of a surprise here, because this is a Martin Scorsese film, and this is Spy number 913, The Age of Innocence. Yes, this is one of the 3 Martin Scorsese movies, well, or should I say 2, that are in the collection, since The Irishman has not been announced when that's going to be released, the other one being The Last Temptation of Christ. So yeah, it is kind of expected for me to get a Scorsese movie, and this movie, I'm of course looking at the Wikipedia page, how many Oscar nominations, because that's what I'm kind of doing right now, going through like the Oscar movies. It won for costume design, and it was nominated for supporting actress for Winona Ryder, best adapted screenplay for, I believe it was, Jay Cox and Martin Scorsese, best original score, and best production design, which of course was at the time called art direction. So it's very interesting this did not have a Blu-ray sticker. Kind of a little bit surprised about that. So, opening this up. Yep, it does have Blu-ray, so I almost worried there for a second that this was going to be like a DVD, and it's like, there's no way, because I had already purchased it. Oh, man. Just dropped the Blu-ray disc, but there's the pamphlet. But looking at, like, inside here, you basically got the ballroom scene. And for my thoughts on the movie, I was really thrilled with this. Definitely probably not one of the, like, best films I saw, but it's, like, definitely a really good movie that actually is on the Criterion Collection from Scorsese. Like, obviously, like I mentioned, the other one being The Last Temptation of Christ, and of course The Irishman will be released whenever it will be. I know I want it. So this is like the pamphlet, and I think it's basically kind of like the average pamphlets I had get through this. Very, very, very nice. Really did enjoy this movie. I don't know if I would say it's not as good as The Irishman. I can't really say, because this is only, I'm going to be honest, this is only my second Scorsese film I've ever watched, and this is coming from a person that's not seen Taxi Driver, or Goodfellas, or The Departed, or The Wolf of Wall Street. No, wait, actually, this is the third one, because I have seen Silence, and then The Irishman, and I know The Last Temptation of Christ is on the Criterion Collection, so I might watch it if I want to actually own a physical copy of this, but Daniel Day-Lewis, Michelle Pfeiffer, and Winona Ryder, but for Martin Scorsese, you get a film on the Criterion Collection, and I get it. Okay, I'm going through this in order based on coming out of the package, and this one, this is pretty much an easy one. I didn't immediately get this as a starter like 12 Angry Men, as this is a classic. And I am very amazed that I actually got a physical copy of this. From 1991, Spy Number... Where was it? What is it? Only Spy Number 13, it looks... Yeah, it says Spy Number 13. From Jonathan Debney, The Silence of the Lambs. How can you not do this? The Best Picture winner of 1991 that was nominated along with Beauty and the Beast, Bugsy, JFK, and The Prince of Tides. And this film, of course, took the victory. And so when I got to experience this, I was a little bit scared because I am not a big person that is into horror movies. But after experiencing this, I really did enjoy it about this film. But there is like a downgrade for a little bit to me with this, and that is this is not really like, although it is a horror movie, but it didn't really feel like a horror movie to me. Besides, since it says a psychological horror movie. Oh my gosh, like the cover is just like, look at this. Of course. So yeah, I didn't really thought this was much of a horror movie when I saw this. I feel like this was more of a thriller in my perspective, because it wasn't like that scary. Like, yeah, there are some dark moments, but there was not like the average horror things I could see, like mounts of blood or jump scares or stuff like that. That's the stereotypical way of horror. But this is, of course, the very first horror movie, and I think the only one so far to ever win Best Picture. And, of course, this movie did win 5 Oscars. Obviously, the top 5 for Best Adapted Screenplay for Ted Talley, who wrote the script. Best Actress for Jodie Foster. Best Actor for Anthony Hopkins. Best Director for Debney. And, of course, Best Motion Picture of 1991. However, I would say for me... Oh, and it did even add 2 additional nominations for Film Editing and Sound. But I'd just like to say real quick that I think there might be some category fraud, I would say, because after watching this film, I honestly felt like Hopkins was more supporting here. And I would say he is my favorite character of the entire movie as a... Sorry, it's been a little bit fresh on my mind, because Dr. Hannibal Lecter, but it really did... like, he was fantastic, but instead, he didn't have the amount of same amount of screen time as Clarence Starling did throughout the movie, which was, of course, Jodie Foster's character. Whoa. Okay, I did not expect that. Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot. For The Silence of the Lambs, this is a 2-disc Blu-ray here, because, yeah, you do, yeah, I keep forgetting you get a 2-disc Blu-ray of this film. It looks like this one's a little bit loose, but, yeah, this is not really the best way to do it on a Blu-ray case, I would say so myself. Yeah, I couldn't really damage this up, but, the artwork is pretty nice, so, yeah, this is not a good way to, oh boy. Yeah, I don't think this, the way how they packaged this is probably not that great. Unlike what they did with Pina, it worked better. Yeah, I had to be very careful when I, using these, because it is very, very slight. They could have done a little bit better, but, the booklet, pretty big, I must say. Like, not, like, kind of pretty big, to say the least. I know I'm kind of dropping down my thoughts on the movies, but keep in mind I just got them today, so very carefully. And this is, of course, one of the very first Criterion DVD Blu-rays. So, oh boy, not really the best condition to do this, but oh crap. Well, I hopefully figure this out. Oh, I think I got this. Just, yeah, there we go. a little bit skeptical, a little bit when with the case itself, but overall, what else can you say? Alright, so the next film that I see on the package right here is actually an animated film from the Criterion Collection. Now, as you guys know, they barely do any animated films on the Criterion Collection, but they only have done 3. Fantastic Mr. Fox, Fantastic Planet, and Spy Number 748 from 1978, Watership Down. This is, of course, the movie that is based on the Richard Adams novel, and this, I believe, this was the second animated film to be on the Criterion Blu-ray DVD release, the first one being Fantastic Mr. Fox, and then Fantastic Planet. And still to this day, we have not got a recent animated film to join in the collection. Like, obviously, you're not going to expect, like, a Disney movie on this collection, unless they do something like an underrated gem of their companies like Hunchback of Notre Dame, but I don't think that, I seriously doubt Disney would ever do this. But you, like, if there's any close thing you would ever see Disney in the Criterion Collection, would just be any of the Fox properties, and that's basically it. So, yeah, if you're, any of you guys curious if I'm going to be interested in getting the other 2 animated films in the Criterion Collection, honestly, no. I am not a huge fan of Fantastic Mr. Fox or Fantastic Planet. Yeah, definitely, I think out of the 4 Wes Anderson movies I've seen, Fantastic Mr. Fox is probably my least favorite. But I think this is definitely my favorite one. And very interesting, a few weeks ago, the movie just recently got into some controversy from the film's director, Martin Rosen. He lost a lawsuit to the family members of Richard Adams, which of course is the author the movie was based on. And basically, I think what he was doing was, I don't remember, but he lost the lawsuit basically for admitting that he owns the entire rights to Watership Down, which of course he didn't. And after a few years of the lawsuit, they ended up, the family members of Adams did win the court, and only Ronson obviously has the film rights only to, like, he only owns the rights to this film and none of the other pop culture elements of Watership Down, like the TV series or even the Netflix miniseries, or I believe it was Netflix or BBC, I don't remember, but as you can see, this pamphlet is a little bit different, unlike some of the others. As you can see, it's really kind of folded up. Not really surprised about that, because of course, one of the big name YouTubers out there, Animat, does have all 3 of the Criterion Blu-rays of the animated films. And I did saw the pamphlet. If you've seen his top 10 non-Disney animated Blu-rays, obviously the animated Criterion Blu-rays would be on the list as together, and he showed the pamphlet of this movie. One of the things I really did enjoy about it was, like, I would say that the first act was a bit slow, but once the second act, like, when they reach their destination, that's when I think the movie really gets good. The animation, definitely good at the time, even though there are some technical issues or, like, some things that don't fit right. But out of the 3 of them, it's definitely worth it. Now, I would mention that this is a pretty dark movie, I would say that, so... but it does come with, obviously, one of the biggest things of an interview with Guillermo del Toro, and he did mention that this was one of his Criterion picks when he, I believe, was on the Criterion Closet. And speaking of Criterion Closet, Lee Unkrich, the Pixar director of Toy Story 3 and Coco, did that when he finished Coco, he did a Criterion Closet on this. And hopefully one day we'll get more animation people, like, hopefully, like, we would get to see, like, Pete Docter doing it, like, when Soul was released, or, like, any other notable animation people. I know a lot of people said probably if any other animated film that would be in the Criterion would be Akira, or Akira. It depends on what I heard, because Daisuke says Akira, and Animat says Akira. I don't know how to pronounce it, but it was in the Criterion days of Laserdisc, but has not got a Criterion DVD Blu-ray release. It had an individual Blu-ray release, but not from the Criterion, but I don't know how long that would be. But with that being said, out of the 3 animated films, I do say Watership Down is my favorite of the collection. Okay, next up, we have a documentary. Yes, that's right, we have another documentary. Now, last time I got Pina, but this one is a bigger one. This is many consider this one of the best documentary films of the 21st century. This is from 2002, the Oscar-winning documentary that won that year, Spy Number 928, Bowling for Columbine. Yes, the famous movie done by Michael Moore, best known for, of course, directing this film, Fahrenheit 9/11, Fahrenheit 11/9, and obviously Sicko and a couple others, Where to Invade Next. But this is his most popular film, and of course this did won Best Documentary Film of the year. And, won the César for Best Foreign Film? That's very interesting. But as we all know, we are in a tough time right now of the divisive reactions of gun control, like those who support it, those who are against it, because this movie sets around, of course, after the big events of the Columbine massacre in 1999, and you explore with Michael Moore throughout the divisive, the individual sides throughout the entire movie, and you see what the gun violence is of the acts throughout, like, U.S. history and how it changes throughout the time, all the way up, from the time when Michael Moore decided to purchase a gun at the beginning, all the way up to his exclusive interview with Charlton Heston, the actor in Cecil B. DeMille's remake of the Ten Commandments, and his Oscar-winning performance in Ben-Hur, interviewed before, I believe it was he was diagnosed, I believe it was Alzheimer's, wasn't it? He was the head of the NRA during the 1998 through 2000. Yeah, Alzheimer's. That was what it was. It was Alzheimer's. So that was before he announced his Alzheimer's. So of course you go to the Kmart refund, which of course now that company is now defunct. You have the statics of all the countries. I'm going this backwards, like the climate of fear, thanks to the news media, and then you even had an animated montage, with I believe Trey Park, the guys behind South Park, I believe was it Trey Parker or was it Matt Stone? I know where it is somewhere. It does really go into many things throughout the entire time when it's just like this, and it is a very tough movie to go through, especially for those who were really infected in the massacres, but this is definitely one of the best documentaries that I really recommend you guys need to see. Of course, you got the American flag here. It's like the Watership Down pamphlet where it goes to it's like an entire newsletter when you look at that. If you have the Criterion Blu-ray of this. And of course everyone knows the infamous Oscar speech from Michael Moore when he blasted President Bush of the U.S. going to war with Iraq as a protest, especially for him as an American. It's kind of interesting because also Hayao Miyazaki, who won Best Animated Feature for Spirited Away, refused to attend the Oscars. He did accept the Oscar, but he didn't want to attend the ceremony because of course, of who. Yeah, it is Matt Stone. Yeah. And even, of course, Marilyn Manson as well. I know that it is going to be a very tough movie, but for those who have not seen this, and this is definitely an important movie that really takes the way of how gun control is today. So this is definitely a movie that really fits in our time right now. Okay, the next one is actually one that came out this year in the Criterion Collection. And this is, speaking of The Silence of the Lambs, I did mention one of the Best Picture nominees. And since there are only 2 of those that are in the collection, it makes sense that this one kind of follows it up. Spy Number 1022, from 1991. The Prince of Tides. One of the movies that was directed by, of course, Barbra Streisand. That, of course, stars herself, Nick Nolte, Blythe Danner, and this is, of course, an amazing film when I experience this. I think even more than The Silence of the Lambs. Because after when I watched this movie, when it finished, I just went... Because it was like one of the best movie experience I had watched. I think the only other two that I clapped after watching the film were La La Land and The Shape of Water. This is definitely another follow-up, I would say so the least. This is an amazing film. And it was nominated for 7 Oscars, including Best Original Score, Best Cinematography, Best Art Direction, Set Decoration, which of course is production design, Best Adapted Screenplay for Becky Johnson and Pat Conroy, Best Supporting Actress for Kate McGillan, Best Actor for Nick Nolte, and of course Best Motion Picture, which of course did lost to The Silence of the Lambs. However, there was a bit of a big backlash that Barbra Streisand was not nominated for Best Director. If it was like this now, where obviously now people were saying the director category Oscar so male, this would have almost made sense today, ceremony standards. And of course, Barbra Streisand, I believe, was never nominated as a director. Yeah, that is true, because she did one as an actress for Funny Girl, and a songwriter, I believe, for The Star Is Born. Or A Star Is Born, the 1976 film, if I'm correct. I know it's somewhere in the late 70s, but this is definitely, my first time experience with her as a director, and she is even an actress, and my gosh, even though I have not seen, any of the, other than The Silence of the Lambs, I know this was a big year in 1991, because you also had Boys in the Hood, you had Thelma and Louise, you had those two, plus, JFK, and Bugsy, and The Silence of the Lambs, so... And also, keep in mind, also Gary Truesdale and Kirk Wise were not nominated for Beauty and the Beast. So it was a big year in 1991, and as you can see, this is just a phenomenal film on how Barbara took this movie and just really made you feel well for Tom, who is the main character that Nick Nolte plays. And once again, like Watership Down and Bowling for Columbine, it's kind of a flip book as well. Wow. I'm very impressed with this movie. I just can't believe it. I really loved, the characters that were in this movie. I loved the script. If I'm correct, this was based on, Pat Conroy's novel. So, yeah, so he did, was it he or she? I just want to make sure, yeah, he. I just want to make sure, just to be safe. But he adapted, with Becky Johnson, his own novel to this. Barbra Streisand really did a phenomenal job directing this. If I was voting for the Oscars back then, I would have probably voted for her to get nominated, but that's going to be questioning, because I can't really tell, because I still have not seen Bugsy, JFK, or Thelma and Louise, and even Boys in the Hood, which I know Boys in the Hood is a movie that people would talk about now. It's just, I just fell in love with this movie. I mean, I have no question about it. This is just amazing. And now, we come into probably the biggest one, I think, for this. I wouldn't say it's not a set, but it's one of the biggest Blu-rays I got to experience this. And this is also another movie from 2002. And since I did have Roma in his collection, why not have another Alfonso Cuarón movie? And that is, of course, Spy Number 723. Like I said, it says 2001 here, but it wasn't eligible in the Oscars until 2002. So, yeah, it is weird, but That's just how it was. So, I don't know why I said 2002, but it was nominated for 2002's Oscars. But it was originally released in 2001, and that is Y tu mamá también, or known as, in English, And Your Mom Too. I think this is definitely my favorite Alfonso Cuarón movie I've seen. I have not still seen Little Children or Gravity, which I know that's going to be a big one, but this is basically a road trip of two young teenage boys with a woman in her late 20s, which I believe is one of their aunts, cousin's wife. Yeah, that's who it is. And obviously this was nominated for Best Original Screenplay in 2002. That's why it was eligible for the films in 2002 instead of 2001 when it was originally released. But it does have one recognizable name, and that is, of course, Gal Garcia Bernal. I'm sorry. I just felt like when I was watching this was a fun road trip movie. It was fun at the same time. However, I will say this. This is not a movie for kids. This is an R-rated film. It almost feels like an NC-17 film, but not really. There is a lot of sexual imagery, I would say so the least, but then again, I am 20, so I am allowed to watch this. I just had a fun time with this journey. It's basically like a road trip movie, and since this is a big Blu-ray, why is it in a big pack? Obviously not just because it has this, but you do get the Blu-ray and the DVDs of the movie. Yes, you do get a combo here for this. This is, I believe, the DVD of this. Yeah, because the Blu-ray, I believe, would be right around... I'm trying to look for it. It doesn't really say where it is, but I will... Yeah, this is the DVD. These are the two DVDs right here, and this is the Blu-ray, which... Once again, not really kind of iffy about the packaging with the two DVDs stacked like that. But, oh my gosh, the actress who plays, what was it? Like, Luisia, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, she is so attractive back then. Like, I don't know what, if I was in the same age, if I was like, I'm the same age as Gal Garcia Bernal and Diego Luna, I would definitely have a crush on the actress. But, oh my gosh. And of course, this did lose to another movie that was not in the English language in 2002 called Talk to Her by Pedro Almodovar. So, yeah, and I'm just, like, this is a little bit big, but, yeah, you get a special DVD Blu-ray combo for this, so... Yeah, with that said, I feel like that's basically it. I know I'm a little bit iffy with talking about this, but keep in mind, I just got them out of the packaging. Like, 6 of these. Oh my gosh. Like, holding them up, like, look at this. It's just amazing. But, thank you guys for watching. Comment down below if you have seen any of these movies. I know probably not a lot of you have seen this, especially this is like an R-rated, almost like an NC-17 movie. But if you have seen like any of the others, what are your opinions on them? I'd still highly recommend you check this film out, especially around this time. Amazing. Just, of course, it's obvious. Best one of the animated films, and of course, Martin Scorsese, but what can you say about that? So, hopefully the next one will be another Criterion Collection volume around the time when Marriage Story will come out. So, hopefully to expect the next Criterion Blu-ray unboxing, but hopefully maybe soon I can almost get regular Blu-rays, but don't expect that for a while. So, with that said, thank you guys for watching, and I just can't wait for more.